A new dawn. We're entering the next chapter of the franchise and changing the recipe for how we make Halo games. Go behind the scenes with Project Foundry to explore the creative potential of Halo in Unreal Engine 5. Let's take a look at this. Okay, oh, they have an actual video. This is kind of funny that this is actually happening because for years now, everyone's been saying, Bungie, make the transition, bring Destiny to Unreal Engine. Now, here's the thing. When I've talked to developers about this, there's actually limitations for a game like Destiny in Unreal. But surprisingly, it has been told to me that the Tiger engine is a very sophisticated engine for Destiny. I'm saying it would be a better engine for Halo or any of these other games, despite Halo originally being on the Tiger. But you get where I'm coming from. Let's watch this video.
Chris Matthews, take one. Mark.
This is Casey Wu, take one. Mark.
I was told that I can just be my authentic self, Chris.
For 6 years, I don't want to be in front of a camera.
There's so much to do and so much fun to be had when you play Halo that I feel like I never run out of things to do.
I love intricate stories that take place across lots of different worlds, have lots of different meaningful characters.
What made Halo successful at the beginning? What is the legacy of Halo and what's the soul that we want to bring forward and what's the craft of making Halo games?
What made Halo successful at the very beginning, guys? A badass, stoic monster of a man with the most delicious voice.
I need a weapon.
Halo 4 Cortana. No. And definitely with a Halo 4 Cortana. But Cortana definitely played a role in it. No, Halo was just, it was just epic. If there's ever was something I was like, what was the original set of Halos from 1 to 2 to 3 to Reach to ODST? Like, it was just epic. You know, we go back and we watch some of the trailers for some of those games, like the trailer for Reach. Oh my God, dude, it's incredible. And like the stakes were so high. There was no coming back in those games. You died until Halo 4.
And how do we set our studio at best to go deliver on that?
We knew we had to make a change in order to take us into the future.
When I first heard about Halo moving on Unreal Engine, my first thought was, this is going to be a really hard secret to keep.
I think fans are going to be excited about the future of Halo because of the possibilities that are afforded us by using Unreal.
Before, we really had to split our focus in thinking about building an engine, supporting it, being really kind of a tech company and a studio at the same time. Since we've made the change.
That's such a fantastic point right there. That's essentially what Bungie has to do with the Tiger engine. You know, the years leading up to the launch of Destiny, there was like a 3-year period there where they were overhauling the Tiger engine to even take on the load of Destiny. And that's something that you have to continue to do. Even at this very moment, Tiger engine is still seeing upgrades every single year behind the scenes. But yeah, that's something, if you're a studio and you have your own engine, you have to continue to keep modernizing it and updating it. Whereas something like Unreal is something that will be updated on their front. And I guess you can just focus mainly on just the game itself.
To shift to UE, we can bring Halo forward in ways that people have never seen before while still being true to what Halo is.
The Foundry project was an effort to show ourselves how far we can push things using Unreal 5.
New studio art director, Chris, came to me and said, hey, I have this crazy idea.
He said, hey, there's this thing called Project Foundry that I want to do. Let's make it happen.
Foundry specifically is based around the same concept of the Foundry in Halo lore. It's the place where Halo rings are born. It's not a game, it's a research project for our studio so we can prepare ourselves for the next steps of making Halo games.
The original Halo franchise was a graphics showcase. It was best in class. That's what Halo was when it first was released, and that's what Halo needs to be again.
So once Project Foundry had been approved, we took the entire creative team and we ideated on 3 locations, something old, something new, and something really alien.
We had the Pacific Northwest, which is sort of traditional Halo biome.
We were trying to shove
as much foliage in there as humanly possible to make it really feel like you're on a hike in the, Cascades.
The Coldlands, which was the second biome that we took on, it was more of a technical showcase where we could play with shaders, we could play with deformable landscapes and terrain.
Europa!
Unreal affords us more opportunity than we've ever had in the past.
On the surface, it might just look all like snow, but how many layers of things combine to really give that winter look?
And then our third biome was the Blightlands, which is any land that's been completely taken over by the flood.
I wanted to give our team the opportunity to really express an alien world, a really alien world, taking something way further than they may have actually done in previous Halo games.
What's impressed me about watching the Halo team work in Unreal is how beautiful everything looks, how incredible the environments look. I don't think we've seen anything quite like it in Unreal Engine before.
Okay, it does look beautiful. What's the performance? Because if I'm running around at 20 FPS on a 4090, that is terrible.
Fortunately, we have a studio that's really passionate about Halo, about the look and the feel, and I think there's a lot of hunger to really collaborate, to move forward together.
Foundry was an initiative that touched on every part of the creative process, everything from concept art, VFX, characters, vehicles, and weapons to make the future games of Halo.
Creating an asset, taking this design, now we can really dig into material foundations. What is it actually made of? How is it physically accurate to the world? Now we get to take all the wonderful legacy assets that we have.
It looks good, man.
Bring them to
life. It does look good.
Bring them to today's standards.
But can I also just say that I didn't feel like even like Halo Infinite, 4, 5, Infinite, I didn't feel like those were below standards. I thought they were still beautiful games. Now, yes, at launch, no. I played them at launch. I thought they were still good-looking games. Halo 4 was on 360. Yeah, man, I played the piss out of it. I played a lot of 4. That was when I was like such a diehard Halo fan, guys. At that time, everything Halo did, I was there. Everything. The show, Forward Unto Dawn or something like that, watched it. The books. I replayed, just about every one of the campaigns multiple times. I lived in the multiplayer. Even 4, even though I didn't really care for 4, I still played it all the way through, and I still played the multiplayer, because that was the big change with that one was the different loadouts. All right, let's continue.
We are really excited to be not just working on multiple projects, but also expanding our studio.
As a lifelong Halo player, I think the game's only going to get better when we get those new, unique perspectives and people bring in their expertise and passion for the Halo franchise.
We are looking for new talent as the projects that we're working on kind of get further and further into their development cycles.
And it is great to be part of a team that's growing because you can kind of see that force multiplied as people come in.
You see what they're saying about this, right? So whenever you reach out and you put up job listings, now you'll be able to put up job listings like, hey, must have, experience with Unreal Engine, right? Versus bringing someone in, teaching them how to work with your own engine. So that's kind of the issue that you run into when you have your own in-house engine. When picking up more people to add, having that onboarding process take much longer.
And take on challenges, and you can do more.
Imagine a place where you have the commitment that this is what we want to do, Halo games, and create those experiences. And you can express your talent, your creativity, and your professional ambitions in that place.
We're looking for designers, we're looking for artists, we're looking for engineers.
It feels like a new beginning for the studio in a lot of ways, and I think that's pretty rare.
And I think we arrived now at a point where you see the beginnings of people to start to believe in the process.
There's so much momentum that we have right now and focus and clarity on not just what we're building, but why we're building and kind of this next phase of Halo.
The worlds that we're building, the stories that we're going after.
The potential at Halo right now is huge.
Halo Infinite was the last remnants of how we made Halo games in the past. That was our recipe. And what we are doing right now, we're changing that recipe.
All right, so that's the other big news, guys, is that they're dropping 343 and they're now being called just Halo Studios. How do we feel about it? How are we feeling about this, guys? I would say this, in my opinion, it needed to shake up, and maybe this is the shake up that you know, the folks that are working on the game, I think they needed it more than even the community, right? But it needed to shake up because there was, like, you know, a bit of a downward trend there for quite some time. Not gonna lie, it's hilarious knowing they changed the studio name because they needed to specify we are not that studio everybody hates anymore. The new name suits you, but it cannot hide that mark. Nothing ever will. Just get the physics right. I want to see a ghost go flying when I hit it with a gravity hammer. I want to see a blinding explosion followed by debris showering the battlefield when I shoot down a phantom. You have to know the feel of Halo before you do anything else. I'm optimistic. New leadership, new engine, new mindset, multiple projects, and new branding for a new era. Let Halo Studio cook. I can't wait to play all you have in store for the next couple of years. Well, that's the thing, man. Like, how much of... Do they have a timeline? Do we got a roadmap on when this is going to be coming out? Or anything going to be coming out from Halo Studios? Finish the game before launch, please. Go back to the roots. I've heard that one before. A lot of skepticism in the comments, guys. Let me just say this. I'm not nearly as hurt as the Halo community is, because, well, I'm kind of just on the outskirts. I play Halo very casually. Jump in, I play a few multiplayer games with some friends, and that's about it. I can only imagine how hurt I would be if I was, like, super invested in Halo every year, every day, tied into, like, whatever it is they're working on. But Halo Infinite was kind of a debate. With your previous experience with Halo, can you see yourself getting interested in the revamped story? Not really, guys. Not really. I feel like... I mean, even though I've played 4 or 5 in Infinite, for me, in my head, it's kind of a weird thing because Halo ended for me after Reach. 3 was the actual ending. Reach was the prequel ending that rounded things out. But as far as, like, me, like, my soul being invested in Halo, that was kind of it for me. All right, on the topic of Halo, listen, for my Halo community, I feel like you guys needed this. I feel like it's been a long time since you guys have gotten some real positive news. And I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Halo because a lot of things began for me through Halo. You know, the 2 games that I fell in love with and defined my childhood were Halo and RuneScape. And those 2 games actually worked together pretty well. You know, Halo scratched that multiplayer itch, that first-person shooter itch. RuneScape scratched that, you know, that grind itch. And I will say my taste as a gamer has evolved over the years. I'm not sure if Microsoft or Halo Studios here, I'm not sure if I'm the demographic they should be targeting. They should definitely be targeting their core fan base, give them what they want. And, you know, hopefully there's going to be some overlap there that pulls in folks like myself to try out whatever it is they're going to be cooking. So we'll see what happens.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.